Now, yeah, kaikalization. All right, now this is what happened when AkuffoAddo met the press. Compare this to Mahama's meet the press.
AkuffoAddo opened up his administration for questioning. Over 100 journalists were present. 70 journalists indicated they had questions. At the end, only 14 journalists got the opportunity. The engagement was supposed to start at 5 p.m. Well, it started 30 minutes late. The president then spent about 40 minutes delivering a statement on his achievements. Well, after 14 male journalists asked questions, the press encounter ended at 7 p.m.
Mr. Charles Techibwedu has a question on international relations.
Can we stop there? Can we just stop there? That would be the 7 o'clock, especially Charles Techibwedu. He's my good friend. Let's stop with Charles Techibwedu.
Please step up to the microphone. Please step up to the microphone.
Let's stop with Charles Techibwedu.
Well, we did the maths and we realized that journalists just got 55 minutes to ask questions. But the 55 minutes also factors in answers from the president and his ministers. We all know the president spent several minutes answering questions. So could we, in all honesty, describe this as a presidential encounter with the press? This encounter has been described as the worst ever in the history of the Fourth Republic by some.
For me, I think this, I would say, is the worst ever presidential media encounter that I've witnessed since the inception of the Fourth Republic. I think that what really happened, in my view, was literally the president addressing the nation, kind of a, as they used to say, a state broadcast. And perhaps it was about spicing it up with media people being present in the room and maybe garnishing it with the opportunity of a few journalists being given the chance to ask questions.
Well, the president and the NPP, who had benefited enormously from the work of civil society organizations when he was leading the NPP in opposition, had a word for them.
What about the attacks by the think tanks and the opposition on policies? Is that right? This is what we have all fought for a long time, an open society that allows everybody to express their views on government policy and develop alternative views, support, as the case may be. But one thing that is becoming clear to me is that it seems that every step that we want to take to modernize our society, to initiate the process of transformation, is met with resistance by our opponents.
Well, some civil society groups are not happy and have described his posturing as disrespectful. Now, these are concerns. Why should the president agree to meet up with journalists when he had no time on his hands? We know the president has stated that he is in a hurry. Could that be the reasons he abruptly ended his engagement with the media? Only 14 questions were asked. None from female journalists, none. Perhaps governments forgot their commitment to gender balance. I hope you get the point. This is indeed regrettable.
Now, when you listen to what the woman was saying, and you listen to what they are saying today, compare the two meet the press by both presidents. Compare what happened recently when Johnmahama met the press, and compare what the same Joy News, the same fake news Joy News, the same Jandam Joy News, the same cocaine media Joy News. See the way they are reporting on Johnmahama meeting the press, and see the gap between Johnmahama's meet the press and the gap and AkuffoAddo's meet the press. And they don't want to be honest. So you get these filthy young boys, dirty boys sitting on Joy News, making it look like, you know what? Even though what is happening is great, we are still not going to see any good in it because we feel that this government is doing too good and that we need to please a party that basically did not know what they were doing in power. And it's not the Biami Bucha won't say, Yamfa to minima MPP no more mayor deng. If even things are not going the way you want them to go, because I am seeing things going well. reasonable, honest Ghanaians who are investing their money in this economy are seeing improvement. Inti Ana Ebusa MP before say, Yenya Deng, a whole president, AkuffoAddo, Oniba Umiamo, meets the press. The press, he turned the whole thing into an attack on CSOs. That is childish. That is foolish. That is very, very myopic. That is a president who is full of himself and not intelligent. His own vice president could not even speak to defend people who were honestly questioning his leadership skill and how the country was being governed. But today we have a president who is willing to listen to every single person, every single question. We saw a president who met the press and never called anybody from his government to answer any question. He made sure that he answered every question, and every question he gave, or every answer he gave, was spot on. He made Ghanaians understand that he's a president who chairs his cabinet meetings. He understands, he reads over things. He answers questions in detail. And that is the kind of leadership we've been wanting till now. Interne busa MPP for say, "Yemfa to me mamono, yemfa mamono mofanya deng." What do you need the power for? What the 2 million deng? What the 2 million MPP for? What the 2 million deng? Because everything about you people show say, "Munye ready," and you are not intelligent enough to take power from us again. It's me who boys something to TV, so who are they convincing? Miracle Abuaja say, "Dian dia otata no jimi we a ojiba omia sika campaign sika or da koto dan amoba da hu jimi mo yamo say monya press conference." He is not bringing anything. Hwekojo Kofi Ofosun cancer. Kwasi asa no aba ye inbox mu ye man or information or the best second in Japan. Na any platform is bigger than MPP. Every single idiot in the MPP is bigger than them. So why should I even take information from Kofi Ofosun cancer? Then my team called, sent me an email, say a fool sent a message that he wants us to say this about. If I want to do something on someone, you don't. You Kofi Ofosun cancer. Jimmy san, and this is the kind of political party they expect to say adienchine and tuabamomo. Such dirty creatures. And this we keep asking. Intiantam to minimum modi day. You've still not answered. Can you some X? More than one and I'm whole Jimmy. Obviously, Monko from good TikTok in there, Omunyo school, the majority of MPP for more TikTok Omunko school. Because Musa dan kwaye research, no. MPP for majority of Muamudi MPP, Chimudu JSS and Umuwe school. Into we say majority of each illiterates in Ghana no MPP muno wo yenyina. Into right now we don't argue with you people. Omunko school a omuntumi ntron kenkan tiase no majority no MPP mu. Into yane no yebetena ha ye target Ghana for madwene ye adwuma a sebi omunko school da kro madwene ye adwuma omo ne ani omkasa na MPP ni onko school wa say Jimmy. There's no need for you to waste your time on them. Anything I make my platform way, my target is not the middle class. My target is omo magia tum say dey enko school. Ye dey kan entiase. Kevin chechire mu kire ene entiase enyansa for sa na ene omkasa. Na nye MPP ni a we Jimmy. Ono sanko school. Ono so na adwene say tribe nti na ye politics. Sa nipa you can't help such an idiot.